Alright, welcome. This is Nuke Marine presenting Let's Learn Japanese, a course series for the self-study Japanese from basics and beginnings up to intermittent and hopefully advanced. Today, as usual, it's a Let's Read Japanese, so up above is going to be playing, in this case, an anime, and off to the side is going to be the text of the anime, in this case, the rip of the subtitles I'll be reading along with to the audio up above. If I see something I don't know, I'll pause the audio and look up what the meaning is in a pop-up dictionary, in this case Yomi-chan. Okay, so with that out of the way, this is a new series for the Let's Read. It's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Brief history is I'd seen the original anime that was out 2003, and I did enjoy it, but I saw it like in Japan with English subtitles basically. I think I saw it like, yeah, Japanese with English. I think it was that. Either way, it doesn't matter. It was, might as well have seen it in English. That was all it was. Never read the manga or anything. I heard that this came out. And you're always seeing memes posted about it. And they're always referring to Brotherhood as opposed to the older anime normally. And they always say like this anime did it a lot better. Like it followed a lot closer to the manga, whereas the original anime I guess had to divert, especially near the end. Yeah, so I don't know. I've never read the manga, so I don't know how close or where both of these animated shows are going to differ from the manga. And really, it's not going to matter. The thing is, though, I'm not going to do, just like with Death Note, and technically Neon Genesis Evangelion, was that I'm only going to go up to 26 episodes. In this case, the first two seasons of Fullmetal Alchemist, so I'll be stopping there. I'll be doing similar with Attack on Titan when that comes up, because I'm just going to watch that to the first season, which is about, I think, either 25 or 26 episodes for that. So again, very similar. And then with One Punch Man, it'll be 2 seasons, so it'll be about 26 episodes. Again, I'm trying to keep it at 26 episodes, and again, if you look at the sentence count, line count, character, however you want to do it, of the subtitles, it comes out roughly to a light novel, to being a light novel in size, for the amount of reading you have to do. Now, obviously, this is like complete just vocabulary. I mean, this is complete spoken like dialogue for the most part. So, like, if you want the equivalent mangas, like, I guess maybe, and again, this is like a very, 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 very rough estimate, ballpark, is 6 large manga, the 6 complete mangas would be about 1 light novel in the amount of text you'd have to read for the equivalent amount of text. So that's what we're saying, like word count. And again, that's give and take. Like I said, Fullmetal Alchemist is very dense in that there's a lot of description. It's like basically soliloquies of, it would be describing the parts that's not spoken out loud if it were in a book. Because here they're trying to justify talking, so they're not going to talk to you, the listener. They're talking to someone who's supposedly born into this world, but is completely unaware of it. So I guess it's kind of like Shinji and Evangelion, where again this kid born into this world, but it seemed like he knew nothing about anything that he was experiencing. And again, it's just a narrative trope, which just means a way to explain to the reader or the viewer in a way to where it seems like it would happen naturally, and it's kind of hard to pull off. Very few people can pull it off. Fine. Well, anyway, the main idea here is, though, is that, again, this is reading, and this is probably not the best. If this is your first time ever starting Let's Reads, if you ever once you get past that N5, N4 level material, you get up to about 2,000 words. You got basic grammar under your belt. And you want to say, hey, okay, let's start reading Japanese for real. Try to avoid anime like this. Go for Slice of Life, Toradora, Clanad, I think. What was it, Clanad? Some type of anime or drama that is set in modern times and has, let's say, domestic settings or something where, yeah, so everyday settings, there you go. That's not specialized, so try not, you might want to avoid things that are like sports or gymnastics, some type of iffy. That's kind of iffy. But yeah, for the most part, though, try to make sure it's set in like in realism. Let's say as realistic as you can take it. I'm kind of wording this wrong. I'm saying that from experience because again, I was doing Evangelion, and yeah, again, that thing just slammed me right in the face with the amount of vocabulary it throws at you. So it will still follow. I can still follow it. Just say again, I was just having to look up a lot more words. It's not that words were complicated in concept. It wasn't. I don't think it was again, it was fairly easy to follow as far as the storyline goes. Reasonably, I mean, you can definitely tell how it can, some people can lose can get lost in the narrative. I get that, but for following along, it was doable. Just that you just didn't have the vocabulary. You know, that was all. That's, let's see. Beyond that, I'm expecting to do 2 episodes a day, so we'll see how that works. Like, again, I tried that with Evangelion, and again, that first episode took me forever to get through. I'm hoping to get through this faster because, again, I have seen this series before. The beginning, I'm pretty sure, is going to follow very close to the original series. It's only near the end, which the part I'm not going to be doing, where it starts to differ. So I might watch this off, much like I did with Death Note. They had more episodes beyond where I stopped doing the Let's Reads. I'll probably finish up this drama itself, you know, later on offline, you know, on my own and whatnot. If you want this drama, it's easy to get. It's on Netflix, so if you got the tools, you can record it off Netflix, watch it yourself offline, which that's a legit reason to record, or to record a lot the streaming web services. The subtitles, again, got the links down below. You know, you can also download them off of Netflix, so that's not too difficult either. I think that's about it. So, as always, I've been doing with the Let's Reads. I'm going to start with my reviews. I'm going to go up to about the 30-minute mark. So if you're watching this later, just skip to the 30-minute mark. That's when I'm going to start the actual Let's Reads. But let me just do it for the reviews. And I might start it a little earlier. It doesn't matter. I mean, I apologize. I'm not going to be doing time links or anything. Just you get what you get. All right. So let's bring up let's see the deck. All right. That's my little Anki deck. Make it so it's a little more better visible. Okay, cool, and cool. Alright, the only thing I'm going to worry about is the kanji and the Morph Man. Morph Man's just if this is the first time here, this is the stuff I get from the Let's Reads. So if I've read an entire series, I'll throw all the sentences into Anki, let it do its evaluations, and based on all the other stuff I've added to Anki, say, hey, here are words you don't know that are in sentences this sentence has one word that you don't know that's probably you want to learn. And that's just how it goes. So it gives you a sentence, but the target is that one word, that one unknown word. It's pretty useful. It's kind of fun. I'm up to about 340 words so far, and I've added my 4th Let's Read from way back when. So I'm going to slowly catch up to all my Let's Reads because I'm adding 100 words and adding another Let's Read. You know, so eventually I'll be catching up. I'm up to about 16 Let's Reads as far as series goes. So hopefully I'll be catching up within 2 or 3 months. Let's go. All right. Kanji. Okay, let's go. Okay, remote. Alrighty, that's Batman. I'll probably give it to Bruce Wayne Batman. And, Old Man Batman. There we go, Old Man Batman and Indiana Jones. The heart. Okay, that one guy right there. Yep, alright, so that's Yu, comfort. Yuji, that's a name. Yu, that's a name. Yu-zen, your composure. Yu-chol, usually slow. Cool. Next. Come on. Let my computer catch up. Worst thing that happen is that it freezes. That'll be horrible. What the heck? There we go. Consort. Tomonao. Oh, okay, there we go. That's Batman getting half price because he's so damn handsome. Half price for, let's say, companionship. There we go. Tomonao, okay. Dohan. Tomo, that's his name. Banso. There we go, that's a good one, Banso. Wink. Bird. Oh man, I know this. Wing, yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one. I'm gonna. All right. Actually, I'm gonna give it one shot here. This is probably way off. I'm going to mark this wrong regardless. Okay. Actually, yeah. Actually, barely got the two radicals backwards. So let me just fix that. Definitely got that one wrong. Okay, cool. Truss. Spider-Man trusses up someone. That's his specialty. Shibaru. Da, 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 da. Yep. And did make one small mistake. Shibaru, Baintai, Sokubaku, Restraint, Jubaku. There we go, spell. Baku. Man, add-ons are do the same to my computer. Yeah. Peak, Nozoki Komu. Peak. Is that one? I'm drawing a blank here. I'm gonna mark it wrong. Ah, she. So good. Okay, got it wrong. Okay, that's okay. Okay. Nifty. Okay. Sugoi. Alright, so it's ice making wife. How nifty machine is that? Okay, nifty. Sugoi. Sugomaji. Sugomaji, terrible. Susamaji. Oh, Susamaji. Susamaji. Monosugoi. Okay, Sui. Seisan. Seisan. Cool. Chin. I'll go. Yeah. That's a little thing. I just think of an alligator trap, and it's kind of weird why I would call it that, but you know, it's just kind of how I'm quickly doing a visual. Alright, good. Easy enough. Ago. Willow. That one's also easy. Just think of a tree with droopy ears. Yeah, and this is mainly for names. But yeah, Yanagi. There we go. Let's see. Cool. So Yanagi, Yagyu, Yanagita, and Aoyagi. Cool. A certain Aru. Oh, we got one. Now here's one I probably don't know it from that one or Aru or Arui, but because of Beguile, that makes it easy to know. Because you see it in all other kanji. Wink, there we are again. So this time let me make sure I get it right. So in this case, eye, so it's wink, so it's because related to the eye. And think of a vulture dropping, so a vulture dropping shit into somebody's eye. In this case, a king who's wearing a crown and also his moon glasses. So not sunglasses, but moon glasses. And the moon glasses kind of make sense because it's moon and monocle. So there you go. That's the visuals. Okay, cool. And Matataku Ishun. Ishun is where you're going to see a lot. Shunkan and Ishun, you're going to see that in text a lot. And finally, we got Peak, Nozoki. So no, this is like you hear your boss. So that's the she yelling. So you want to peek in, look in at the boss, see who he's yelling at. You see it happen all the time in drama. So it's easy visual. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, and that's it. All right, and that's kanji. And again, kanji goes a lot faster. I do recommend with kanji, if you're watching for the first time, write out kanji when you learn it and also when you're reviewing it. This is the only time like you're going to be writing kanji. At least just do it only with the kanji reviews. All right, and because normally, let's be realistic, if even adults in Japanese are probably not going to be writing out any of these kanji normally. All right, but if they do have to, they'll struggle. If you're trying to reduce the amount of effort you would have to struggle with, if it ever comes to a point of you needing to write a kanji from memory. All right, let's go to Dex again. Okay, Morphman is just reading. It's not, all right, I'm not, and that just means, do I know what a word means, so I know how to pronounce it. That's all I'm looking for. The sentences there is supposedly is context, but it is good to know what the sentence means as well. All right, so let's go here. Okay, Atsuyaru. So, Atsuyaru. あなたが彼女を操ってたんだから。 Yeah, manipulation. And I'll explain what this stuff at the bottom means. The sub, oh, let me, the sub arrow and harbor. That'll be in a little bit. All right. 脅す。いくら女に脅されてた。俺だれされたった。To threaten or 脅す。Tail remove. All right. 異様つうか異様に来てねこのビル。異様。散々 This is just horrible event or something. それに今まで散々ひどいの目にあって聞いたこと忘れたの？散々。Okay. 散々。Good. 取り返す。This means to take back an Indian giver, basically. タブタはキルケの手から本を取り返そうとした。取り返す。Good. 食いつく。This like bite or latch on into, or actually kind of nag at somebody. Okay. 食いついた？どの人でした？ Yeah, complain and bicker. 釣り合う to kind of bring together, meet together. Yeah. Kind of like compliment, or they're like of equality. So お値段の加減が釣り合いませんで。釣り合い Yeah, being balanced, commensurate. 釣り合いめがけるサイトと整って強大な俺も Oh, this is aim at, so めがける Alright. This would be easier if it were in kanji. I mean, that one's, your eye locks onto something to aim at. めがけるめがけた Okay. やらかす やらかす Okay. 牧野少しがdid something. So it's yarakasu. What does she do now? やらかす牧野少しがまた何かやらかしたのかやらかす should be 収めるこれはラベリエという統治を収める貴族だから収める Okay. 思い浮かべる recall 彼女の顔を思い浮かべてしまう Okay, good. And if you see these are at the bottom. I tell you what the shows are. Like Yurusei means this is from Yurusei no Kizuna, and this is line number 9885. So if I went to, I'd actually have this on a full text, so I can actually scroll down and see the context if I want to know what the context of this line is. Yukinari ni 1000万で売りつける. So it means kind of force somebody to buy it. Usually, like you trick them or you get them into buying something that's not actually worth that much. 売りつけようとした指輪だった。Okay, 売りつける。助け合う to kind of like help somebody. Like to help each other. 助け合う like mutually beneficial, helping each other. あなたのせいで助け合ってんだよ。Aburu. This is like to toast something. 男は火に炙られる。炙られ。Yeah, this is like if you saw Zero no Skyma, where the little fire familiar flame did the guys that were trying to climb through the window. Aburu. Abureru. Aburare. Okay. 問い詰める. This is like this to pester with questions. 授業に遅刻しそうだったので、それ以上問い詰めなかった。Okay, good. 問い詰める. And I'm trying to the little Ford is trying to make sure I kind of sort of get the pitch right. 問い詰める. This is 開ける. This is to clear out something for somebody else to make use of the space. 部屋を開けてもらい といけない絵を開けてもらわないといけない。Kanao, this to help somebody accomplish something. 私なんて全然夏休みさんの Oh, in this case, kanaimasen means, in this case, like, be interested in someone. Ude ni wa kanaimasen yo. Yeah, get someone's wishes. Taeru, this kind of withstand something that's a negative, withstand something negative, or sad. Namida o taeyo to yozoro o miyage shizuna. And this is after she's found out about how her parents were, the reason why her parents were really killed. Taeru. Taeyo to yozoro o miyageru. And I'm not fixing a lot of the names. I should, but like usually I'll just delete it. These footage are automatically generated by Anki, and they're not always correct. But I definitely fix it if the word is wrong. But like the names are the ones I usually get wrong all the time. Susumi deru. This is step forward. Luiza ga susumi dette. This is when she's volunteering to go after the thief. Susumi deru. Susumi deru. Susumi deru. Susumi deru. Susumi deru. Susumi deru. There we go. Okay. Tatsu. Start off something. Yugata. Private jet de tatsutte. Yugata. Okay. Tsutsuku. Tsutsuku. Poking at something. Riko. Riko no odeku o Tsutsuki. Soshi ga kaite iku. Yeah, and see, I got Riko is different, Soshi's different, but who cares about that? Okay. Itabura. This is like teasing, isn't it? Okay. 今日も派手にいたぶられてだけど全然 Oh, wait. 動じないもんな。今日も派手にいた Yeah, push around assault, bully. Alright, kakikomu. No, this is a different kakikomu. This is, let me read it real quick. Koichi wa namida o taete hayashi rice o kakikomu. Oh, so it's like eat quickly. Kakikomu. This is where kanji comes in, is really important. But in this case, the context is, yeah, so right there. Yeah. Okay, good. Kakikomu. It's katsuru. Myoryoku teki ni. I think it's katsuru. Katsuru. 02 ga makeru. So this one is, that's weird. So this one means you excel beyond the other person's ability. Masaru. Alright, so I'm going to show you a trick. Alright, so I screwed that up, right? So I'm going to show a trick. So here's what you can do. Let's see, kanji folder's good. Alright. Alright, and you're probably not going to be able to see that. I'll tell you what, I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. Alright, so here's what's happening. Okay, now I know this is like to excel or surpass, so it should be, but I need the ma and the sa, so I got to get ma and sa into my head, so I know that, hey, this is pronounced masaru. Alright, ma, so you go down here, so it's not there, so it's over here. So there's ma, so it's a room. So imagine something about excelling. So you're in a room, and then you need sa, and that's a sasu. So that's like a sting or pinprick or something. So maybe, yeah, prick or stab. So it could be like someone injecting a needle or something in their arm. Sa. All right. So you're in a room excelling. So you need to excel past your junkie habits. Let's say something like that. So there's masaru. All right. And if I wanted to, I can add it here. Let me go and bring this up. What's my time right now? Okay, yeah. We're not at 30 minutes yet. Alright, so what I do is just quickly, there's nothing magical here, so I just do like ma and sa. So ma is a room, like your living room, and then sa is stab or prick. Prick or sting. Alright, cool. Yeah, room and stab. So I did ma and sa. So I just got to keep that into my head about masaru for excelling something. So So it's victory. So maybe for victory, just think like he's watching a football game where he could be, maybe he's a victory out of a football game. He thinks back to when he was just doing drugs in his room and he excelled past what his abilities then were. How's that? Oh. You don't have to be very complicated. And you don't do this with every word. You just do this like with words where, oh my gosh, I'm having a really hard time remembering the kunyomi. This is mainly for kunyomi words. If it's something like nyoryoku teki. So here, if you know a word that uses no, like no, nozo or something like that, or then all you're doing is using onyomis. Using onyomis of words you already know to help you remember these onyomis. So that one's just use onyomi. But for like here, masaru, then, because you know you see that when you think of katsu, like, or for victory. Saying interesting way you use mnemonics. I've never seen it before. And yeah, this came from Hazig's second book. And most of Hazig's second book we don't recommend. You don't need Hazig's second book all that much because it's just teaching onyomi. And onyomi is best to learn with just vocabulary. Just better. You may have some benefits with knowing about the sound. The components that offer a sound, you know, like chu, so naka for inside, that's always chu, or what's another example? Ryoku, so power is always ryoku, not always, but usually, you know, so those are called signal primitives or sound primitives. You don't really need the full book for that, but you kind of notice that when you get into the hiragana, when you go through the kanji book, or kanji deck, you kind of start noticing that when you see the words, the example words, you start, oh, okay, that's starting to make sense. However, with kunyomi is a whole other ball game, because that's basically kanji that's been shoved down on top of an existing Japanese word that existed before the writing system. Because of that, then there's not always a repetitive pattern here. Like, again, there's masa. You're never going to see the masa. Like, usually you're going to hear is katsu, as in victory. But here in the case, it's masa. So that's where this comes into play. So what you notice is this is yeah, make sure I got the time. These are like e. That's again, the Japanese word for well. U is mean usagi. And then that's just the term for stream. O, shippo, or o for his tail. So these are actual words. That's the word for tree, is ki. The word for mosquito is ka, and that's the kanji for it if you need to. So that's all you're doing, like you're just giving yourself a visual. So if you do know you can actually use the Japanese words if you want to. I'm just keeping it in English, but yeah, if you see this and just somehow think of the meaning of that kanji, or the meaning of the word that you want, which in this case is to excel or surpass, using victory, right? And then with that, do something with the room, ma, and then sa, and keep it in that order. Then it's yeah, and yeah, I got this from his book. I kind of adapted it, added some more words to it, and yeah, put it in a PDF file, put it in a little PDF so it's easier to utilize. It's not perfect. It's got, and you could probably find better words in this. And feel free to replace, if you do get this, replace the words, the ones you want. It's no problem. Just remember, it's about the pronunciation, phonetics. And there's 2 pages, so it also has a, this one's not as filled out, but if you want to do it for what are called the diphthongs, then you can do it as well for here. All right, so it's mainly voiced and diphthongs. Some are not used as much as others, so there you go. But cha for T, that's easy enough. Cho for author. Sho for signature. Yeah, okay. Gyo, kingyo. There you go. All right, we'll leave it at that. Cool. All right, so that's me. Osamaru. Did I mark this wrong, by the way? Yeah, so let me mark this. Masaru. Masaru. Okay, cool. Seigyo. Seigyo. Program. Oh, this is controlling something. Seigyo. Seigyo de dekinai roboto wa kiken desu. Seigyo. Alright, so that's good. And okay, so that's it for there. Let's see. Dekigoto. Yube, well, kinoban. It's not yube. Okay, okay. Yube no dekigoto o omoidashita. Dekigoto. That's an event or a situation. Dekigoto, like something happened. Oh, Sakuban. Mark that hard. Should have remembered Sakuban. Mushinke. This is like to just be dismissive, like, yeah. Nante koyu no mushinke. Yeah. Indifference, yeah. All right. Anyway, now this is Ken, but it could also be Ushido. There's different words for this particular kanji. So this is, but yeah, Ken in this case. But I probably should put the other words for it as well. It's fine. All right. We'll just leave it there. All right. So there's the decks. Cool. Okay. And the reviews will go faster if I'm doing it on my own. That's why a lot of the reviews I do on my own. So, but again, I'm kind of explaining it so people can see, like, hey, this is the benefit you get with these Let's Reads, in that I'm drawing all those sentences from the Let's Reads. And so when I see those sentences, I'm remembering the scenes in which these sentences occurred. And that's really helpful for remembering what that word is accomplishing in that word and also in that scene. Yeah, and there's some other tricks also, but yeah, again, this goes with that. So you don't have to do this with every word. You can skip words. That's no problem. There's thousands of words to pick from that you're not going to know. All right. Be willing to add names, because sometimes that's useful. Be willing to add places. That's sometimes useful. Don't try to overthink it. Just like, okay, hey, a word's a word, and it's beneficial. If it's beneficial to the story, there's that, but it may be beneficial later on. Cool. Tot says, gotcha, makes sense. I've always used the Anki deck to utilize Hazeg's mnemonics premise, but never actually checked out his books. You don't really need to check out his books too much. I do agree. I think you should get the first book, because he has some really good intros and outros to chapters, and he has some really good explanations that you're not going to find online normally about, like some of his primitives and certain stories that he has, especially near the beginning of the book. That's not always the case, but yeah, I think there is a benefit to his first book. Now again, I do recommend using my deck, whereas again, don't do the whole book at once. Do the top 500, and so you'll be skipping a lot of kanji. But by the time you've rolled around to part 4, so you're up to learning your 1,500 to 2,000 kanji, right? Then by then you already have 6,000 words under your belt, or at least 6,000 words under your belt. And those last 500, then those 500 account for maybe 3% total of kanji use. Just 3%. All right, compared to like the 75% by frequency those first 500 are. But then by the time you get up to that point, those 3% are going to be important, because you start noticing them all over the place, because they're in words which you now realize you don't know. Whereas when you're first starting off, almost every word you don't know. Later on, when you get past 6,000, now all of a sudden you are noticing the words you don't know also have these kanji that you don't know. So that's why it's useful to then start putting your effort toward those kanji as well. All right, let's go. All right, here's the story. All right, so this is Fullmetal Alchemist. Again, it'll be playing right here. All right, and if you got any questions, feel free to ask. Make sure I got the. Okay, that's up. Oh, let me turn on the microphone. There you go. All right. Okay, Hyoketsu no Denkin Jutsushi. I might as well practice. It's going to be hearing a lot. So Denkin, cool, and Denkin. Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm thinking back to a sentence I had to skip. It's like alchemy. God damn it, alchemy. Denkin. Okay. Denkin. This is actually a word I skipped yesterday. The Denkin. Okay. Denkin sushi. Jutsushi. Denkin sushi. Jutsu. Oh, Denkin jutsushi. Denkin jutsushi. Let's keep it that way. Denkin jutsushi.
Denkin jutsushi.
Jutsushi. Okay. Come on, stop freezing. Hyoketsu. Denkin jutsushi desu ka? Souda.
彼がこのセントラルに潜入している。
侵入している. Transfer? Infiltration. Oh yeah, 侵入. Yeah. 侵入している.
ロイマスタング大佐。
ロイマスタング大佐。Captain.
捕獲の指揮を君に任せたいのだよ。
その 捕獲捕獲その捕獲の獅子捕獲の獅子の君に任せたいのだよ。
ご命令とあらば。
ご命令とあらば。
いや、君がセントラルにいてくれてよかったよ。安心して任せられる。ああ、それとあの少年も来ている。存分に使ってやりたまえ。
存分に使ってやりたまえ。
ブラッドレイ大総統。
ブラッドレイ大総統。That's General 大総統。大総統。Oh, President. Oh, 大統領。大総統。Okay, 大統領。総統。Führer. Okay, Führer probably. Okay. 大総統。
少年とはもしかして。
そう、鋼の錬金術師エドワード・エルリック。
Okay. 鋼錬金術師鋼の錬金術師エドワード・エリック。
たく人使いの荒い大佐だぜ。
大佐。
せっかくリオール行きの切符買ったのに。
リオール行きの切符買ったのに。Let's see if that's a phrase itself. Oh, is that a place? リオールリオール
キャンセルだね。
キャンセル。
しょうがねえ。ちゃっちゃと終わらせちまうぜ。あら。
兄さん。
この思い。
Alright, so that's a 1 minute mark. I'm not going to play the open. Let's see. Yeah, there's no, oh boy. Okay. So hopefully. Alright, so that's from 1 minute to 1:28. Alright, so the reason why I'm saying that is I'm going to be ripping the audio of this, so I put it into my little audio loop when I'm, on travel. And so I like to strip out, so I might have to make sure to strip out the beginning and end parts, which unfortunately here, like if the first minutes, I may be missing out on the first minute, but that's no big deal. I just don't want to be always hearing this music all the time during my listening loops. Owie. I'm assuming this is like much more violent in the anime or in the manga.
氷結と沸騰。
氷結と沸騰. That's a expansion, right? Or boiling, or evaporation, or steam flashing. Okay. 沸騰. 氷結と沸騰. 水の水, same element. That's element, right? 属性 attribute. 属性だ。
水の属性だ。
水の属性だ。
錬金術。
錬金術。Alchemy? 錬金術。
ひでえことすんな。
Oh wow, yeah, that guy's hands all sorts of fucked up. ひでえ。
大いなることをなすには犠牲はつきものだ。10日交換というやつさ。
Oh, equivalent exchange, right? 10日交換。Yep. 10日交換。10 10日交換というやつさ。
そんなもんが10日交換のわけねえだろ。
そんな10日交換のわけねえだろ。All right, Todd's asking, sorry if you said, all right, what are you plugging using the View G show when you hover over? This is Yomi-chan, Yomichan. You can get it for Chrome or Firefox. I recommend Firefox and do a look for Matt versus Japan's video on Yomi-chan. He'll give the links for downloading or getting access to the dictionaries.
錬成人もなし。
年生心もなし、もうなしに。Nensei. That's a chant? See, forging, changing or forging? Train. Oh, training. Nensei. Jin. Monashi.
見とれてる暇はねえぜ。
見とれてる今だ。Dr. Merlot, when did you start eating eggs, Nuke? Sorry? Don't get the joke. I eat eggs I eat scrambled eggs every day. Nani? Baka?
水があれば沸騰するはずだ。
Make sure of that again. 沸騰するはずだ。ああ。
コートが台無しじゃねえか。
オートメール。
Alright, so it's Kikai armor. Metal armor. Suru? Yoroi. Kikai yoroi. Auto meru. Kikai yoroi. Metal. Automatic mail. Okay. Mobile. Automatic is probably a better word. Like, mobile armor? Metal suit. Okay. Auto mail. There you go. A long time ago. Oh, a long time ago. Ah, okay.
錬成人を使わない。
錬成人。Jin. Institute. 錬成人. So that's the academy. 錬成人を使わない。
天才的錬金術の技。
天才的。So, genius. 天才的錬金術の技。天才的錬金術の錬金術の
そしてオートメールの右腕。お前が鋼の錬金術師。
鋼の錬金術師と
エドワード・エルリックか。そっちじゃないのか。
僕弟のアルフォンスです。
こんなチビが。
誰がドチビちゃ
鋼の錬金術師と呼ばれる男が。
鋼。So this is where I could, if I wanted to bother, I could use the Kunyomi chart, but Hagane no Renkin Jutsu Renkin Jutsushiと呼ばれる
こんな小さな子供だったとは。
しつこい言うな。
しつこい
兄さん、多分今のは背丈のことじゃないと思うよ。
ああ、性格のことじゃない。
たとえそうだっても許そうわ。
たとえそうだでも許そう。
さすが鋼の錬金術師。
鋼の錬金術師。
エドワード・エルリックさん、 ご協力ありがとうございます。
あ、いいえ、僕は弟のアルフォンス・エルリックで。
待たせたな、あれ。じゃあ行くぞ。
まったくせっかちなんだから。
水蒸気か。
兄さん、やつが。
くそ、舐めやがって。
相手を甘く見てたようだな、鋼の。
あいつ何者なんだよ。
だから説明を聞きたまえと言ったはずだ。だが君はそんなやつさっさと。
ああ、わかりました。悪うございましたよ。
年長者の言うことは素直に聞いとくものだ。
へいへい。
さて、名前はアイザック・マクドゥーガル。
アイザック・マクドナルド。マクドゥーガル。OK。アイザック・マクドゥーガル。
元国家錬金術師。
国家。National Academy. Alchemist. 錬金術師。錬金術師。
氷結のアイザックと呼ばれた男だ。
氷結のアイザックと溶血のアイザックと呼ばれた
元
そうだ。
そうだ。
イシュバール殲滅戦の時。
イシュバール殲滅。That's the destruction, right? 殲滅 or war. 殲滅って殲滅戦の時。
我が軍の一員として活躍した。戦後彼は
After the war, right? 戦後 Post war, yeah. 戦後彼は
国家錬金術師の称号を返上し、
錬金術師 That's a name. 称号返上 should be promoted, returned. 称号返上し、
さらには反体制運動に身を投じた。
反体制運動さらには反体制運動に身を投げした投じた。
奴の身柄拘束は最優先事項だ。
奴の身柄拘束奴の身柄拘束は最優先事項だ。Priority. 最優先。So some of these words, I remember being back in Evangelion. So like again, 最優先, priority. 最優先事項だ。And this is a sign. 事項だ。
場合によっては殺さねばならないだろう。
All right, see, Dr. Malo, how many episodes in this anime? I hope it's not one of those that is. No, this only goes up to episode 63, something like that. So just 5 seasons of roughly 13 episodes each. Really easy to watch. Yeah, it's a really good anime. I mean, the first one I really liked it. Yeah, the ending was kind of downer, but this is apparently following more of the manga, which had a better ending. It's a really good story. I mean, and everybody fucking dies, so there you go. Spoilers. It's a very violent anime.
俺は殺すのなんかごめんだ。
好きにしたまえ。我々が求めているのは君の実績だけだ。
実績だけだ。
ところで体を元に戻す手がかりは見つかったのかね。
そんな暇くれねくせに。
よーロイ氷結の錬金術師の身柄拘束とは
氷結の錬金術師の術師の身柄拘束身柄拘束とは身柄拘束とは
命令で災難だったな。
どの命令で災難だったな。
それともセントラル護衛店のチャンスか。
セントラル護衛店セントラル護衛 Let's see if that's a phrase right there. 今までよりも良いセントラル護衛店セントラル護衛店のチャンスか。
おお、もしかして
Wait a minute. Can't read what he's saying, but okay. Or thinking, sorry.
で君たちエルリック兄弟か。
エリック兄弟か。
いやー、最年少の国家錬金術師に会えるとは光栄だな。
最年少 The youngest? 最年少、最年少の国家錬金術師に会えるとは栄養だな。光栄だな。
俺は
saying nutritious. 栄養is nutritious. 光栄だな。
マス・ヒューズ中佐だ。
マス・ヒューズ Matthew Hughes? Mass Hughes 中佐 So either lieutenant colonel or commander. I don't know if they're using army ranks or navy ranks. Probably using army ranks, so we'll just say it's a lieutenant colonel 中佐。
僕は弟のアルフォンス・エルリックです。
何？そっちが鋼の錬金術師だったのか。
そっちが鋼 God, I'm sorry about this. I'm just trying to make sure I get, because they're using these. I know it's going to get used to it later on, but Hagane no Renkin Jutsu shi datta no ka.
ちっこい言うなよ、ちっこい。
ヒューズ、
おう。
用がないなら直ちに帰りたまえ。
帰るさ、用が済んだらな。君たちどうせ宿決まってないんだろ。
Staying over hotel. どうせ宿決まってないんだろ。
だったらうちに来いよ。妻のグレーシアと娘のエリシアだ。
エリシアちゃ
パパおひげ痛い。
そうか、上理。
Now remember, anytime you see a child in the series, expect them to be killed in a horrific manner. Spoiler alert.
このお客さん、エルリック兄弟だよ。
大きい。ちっちゃい。
エリシアちゃん、俺はエドワード・エルリック、こっちが弟のアルフォンス・エルリック。わかる？弟なの。
お兄ちゃんなのになんでちっちゃいの？
なんでちっちゃいの？
ほら止めてもらうんだからおとなしくして。
早速飯しよう。グレーシアの料理はうまいぞ。
早速。グレーシア料理はうまいぞ。
さあ食べてくれ。
いただきます。美味しいです。
たくさん食べてね。
はい。
アルフォンスは鎧着たままだと食えないよな。
これはその。
あるわ、今錬金術の修行中で。よし、今日も俺が2人分食うからな。任せろ任せろ。
Yeah, I'm not going to be like spoiling the whole thing. I mean, it's not that. I'm not saying like what's happening. It's just that don't expect this to be a happy anime. That's just what I'm saying. It's yeah, it is dark, but it's good. Keijimu. Chuo Keijimu. Central prisons? No, wait. Or is that investigation? Central investigations.
最近聞いた中では一番面白い冗談ですよ。氷結の錬金術師と私が手を組む。
手を組む。
このグレンの錬金術師が。
グレン Conflagration? Destruction? Bright red flames. グレンの錬金。グレンの錬金術師か。
キンブリー、
キンブリー。
共にブラッドレーを
トミーブラッド
腐った軍部を打倒するのだ。
腐った軍部をぶっ倒するのだ。
お前もイシュバールでは見たはずだ。
イシュバールでは見たはずだ。
あの地獄を。
この地獄を
ブラッドレーが私たちに何をさせたか知っているはずだ。
何をさせたか知っているはずだ。
だからお前は軍の高官どもを手にかけたんだろう。
だからお前は軍の高官。お前は軍の高官どもを手にかけたんだ。
誤解しないでください。私はあなたみたいな高尚なことは考えていません。
交渉。あなたみたいな交渉ことは考えていません。
あいつらを殺したのは殺したかったからに過ぎませんよ。
残念だよキンブリー。本当に残念だ。
ご苦労さん。
ご苦労さん。
Jeez。
お、
珍しい。眠れないの？
まあな。
当ててみましょうか。あの二人のことを考えていたんでしょ？
国家錬金術師といえば世間からは軍の犬なんて呼ばれてる存在だ。
Pet food? Snoop. Oh, detective, spy. 世間からは軍の犬なんて。軍の犬なんて。
あの年で
Oh, dogs of the army dogs. Dogs. The army's dogs. Okay. 軍の犬なんて。
そんなの昭和されてると思うとな。
昭和されてると思ったな。
ミーさん、起きてる？グレイシアさんの機種、お母さんのみたいだったね。
ああ、うまかったよ。
本当？それなら体を取り戻したら食べるものリストに加えなきゃ。
お、加えとけ加えとけ。
ミーさん、早く元の体に戻りたいね。
そうだな。
あと一つ。あと一つでブラッドレーは地獄に落ちる。
Fullmetal
Edward Alphonse Elric.
Alchemist.
鋼。
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
報告によればアイザックは昨夜中央刑務所に潜入した。
There we go. So it's Keijimu. So that's probably prisons. Prison. Okay. 中央刑事部に侵入して。Really invaded? I thought he escaped. Wasn't he captured? 侵入した。
事態は一刻の猶予もならない。
事態。 自体は一国。しかし一国の国産有用。ポスポン。有用も有用も
必ず見つけ出せ。道路を封鎖し。
Closed off the road. Dodo. That's the closing off, right? Fusa. Blockade? Yeah, blockade. Fusashi. Dodoを封鎖し。
あらゆる場所を探せ。見つけ次第射殺しても構わん。これは大総統令である。
大総統令である。
私も出る。
救護兵急げ。
救護兵。I know that's救護兵急げ。
死傷者5名本部に報告。
死傷名。Those are victims, right? 死傷名。Okay. 死傷名5名。死傷者。死傷者。5名。本部に報告。
ひどい。水蒸気爆発だ。
水蒸気爆発。Yeah, that's a really nasty way of dying. 爆発だ。
水は急激に温度を上げると爆発的に膨張する。
膨張。
人体は 70% 水だからな。急ごう。奴を早く捕まえないと。
よし。こんな連戦をかわすとはさすがですな、アイザック殿。
我が連生。That's transformation, right? Training. 我が連生をかわすと。背を壊すとはさすがですな。
その声、アームストロング。いかにも。剛腕の錬金です。
Strong-armed alchemist. Go on. Strong arm. Go on の錬金術師。錬金術師。
アレックス・レイ・アームストロング。くらえ。高圧の水はあらゆるものを切り裂く。我が拳の前には無意味ですな。我が
拳。That's a fist? 拳。我が拳の前にも無意味。
少佐。
水筒の水か。
水道の水か。
サンキューあれ。
追いかけよう兄さん。
行くぞエロリック兄弟。
久しぶりだな。
久しぶりだな。氷結の。
ロイ・マスタング。いや、炎の錬金術師。
炎。That's conflagration again. Flame alchemist. 錬金術師錬金術師オンの方の錬金術師。
残念だよ。かつての戦友と戦わねばならないと。
戦わねばならないと。
戦友。私に友などいない。イシュバールにいたのは
イシュバール。
腐りきった軍とその犬どもだ。
腐りきった軍とその犬どもだ。
所詮は炎、水には勝てぬ。
所詮は炎、水には
よしよしよし。
そこまでだ。こんな路地で何をしていたか気になって戻ってみたら、ビンゴだぜ。
ビンゴだぜ。
逃げよったって無駄だよ。
逃げる必要ない。
同時にこんな連星反応。
Technique. This gotta be a technique. 連星。
ありえない。
ありえない。
まさか
まさか。
これは
賢者の石。
The Philosopher's Stone. Hey, I read that book with Harry Potter. Okay, sorry. 賢者の石。Yeah, 賢者。Right? 賢者の石。ハリー・ポッターと賢者の石第1章。リベット通り。の町。の、生きている。
何？大気中の水分を。
大気中。大気中の水分。
エドワード・エルリック。軍の犬、国家錬金術師よ。
軍の犬。It's probably like a dog of the army. Transmutation circle. Yeah, okay. We didn't say. Yeah, it's like changing up. So yeah, transmutation. I guess that makes more. Yeah, that makes more sense. Didn't say. 錬金。
お前はこの国が何をしようとしているのか知っているのか。
知るか。そんなことより
知れば私のやろうとしていることがわかるはずだ。
知らねえっつってんだろ。
よし。
よし、ある。よくやった。
兄さん、この人の錬金術。
ああ。おい、あんた賢者の石持ってんだろ。
何の話だ。
言わねえんなら力ずくで。
力ずくて。言わねえんから力ずくて。
わかんねえこと言ってる場合かよ。伝わりし。芸術的錬金法。芸術的錬金法。とくと見るがよ。芸
That's a dramatic performance, right? Agents.
何やってんだよおさ
我々若いSorry.
氷の壁が
つながっていく。
まさかあの人。
セントラルを、いや中央司令部を。
中央司令部いやセントラルいや中央司令部
氷漬けにするつもりか。
氷漬けに釣り
少佐、俺とアルがあいつを止める。その間に冷静人を
壊すのだろ。はい、分かった。キングブラッドレー、今こそ我が氷結により貴様を葬り去る。
立ち上がれ。
Return to the grave? 放り去る Send to the grave. Be done and buried with. 放り去る葬り Let's see what 葬り去る貴様を葬り
邪魔くせえ。
兄さん。
抑え。からの鎧だと。まさか鎧に魂を定着させたというのか。
Okay, so it's yeah, techaku should be like to place in. Let's see, okay, fixed. させる。
腕を失い。
That's a weak one, right? 腕を失い。
弟は体が空っぽ。
ああ、腕を失い。
そうか、お前ら禁忌を犯したな。
禁忌。禁忌を。That's a 犯した。punishment or crime. Commit. 犯したな。禁忌を犯したな。Oh, did a forbidden art.
錬金術師最大の禁忌。
錬金術師最大の禁忌。Says the guy who just blows people up with steam.
人体錬成をやったんだな。
Body transmutation. Oh, body transmutations. Didn't say. Yeah, so, okay, so it didn't say it's got to be transmutation, like you're saying there. I think Merlot, was it Merlot? No, Axiomizer was saying so. Didn't say it's transmutation. Okay, that makes sense. Kind of weird they don't have that there. Okay, human transmutation. Yet done.
くそ、こんなはずじゃ。ちくしょう。
Sure.
返せよ、弟なんだ。返せよ、たった一人の弟なんだよ。お前、今地獄へ一歩踏み出したぜ。 諦めな。使おうにも水がないぜ。
忘れているぞ。人体の 70% が何でできているか。お前らには分からないのだ、この国の姿が。
兄さん、兄さん。
あれ、あいつを追うぞ。なめたまでしやがって。
やったか。おっ、またか。
私の炎をなめるな。
まったく無能は雨の日だけにしてくださいね。
無能は雨の日だけにして。強いの？無能は雨の日だけ。
ブラッドリー。
The Fuhrer. Fuhrer.
覚悟。
Like I said, this kid's not a guy you fuck with.
残念ですね。
少佐、今だ。
了解しました。
キングブラッドレー大総統。
おお、ご苦労だったね。鋼の錬金術師。
鋼の錬金術師。錬金術師。鋼の錬金術師。
そうか。君の助太刀ができたとは。
助太刀。君の助太刀ができたぞ。
俺は息子にいい自慢話ができる。
なんだ、風邪か。そりゃそうとお手柄だったそうじゃねえか。
手柄。そりゃそう、手柄だと。
俺は錬成陣を破壊しただけだ。犯人は大総統が倒された。
その大総統がお前の手柄と言ってるんだ。なんだ不満か。お言葉ありがたく頂戴しとけ。昔から言うだろう、年長者の言うことは素直に聞いとくもんだって。
結局賢者の石かどうかも分からずじまいだったね。
ああ、軍の調査を待つしかないな。
エドワード・エルリック入院したと聞いて飛んできた。どれ、入院中の不良を慰めてやろう。入院中の不良退屈な入院中の不良を眺めてやろう。心温まるだろう、この筋肉に。Warming the heart, this beautiful muscular body or something. 筋肉。遠慮するのは触っていいぞ。
そう、アイザックは死んだのね。人柱になれたのに惜しいことしたわ。
人柱。Sacrifice, okay. 人柱になれたのに惜しいことしたわ。
で、賢者の石は？ふん、使いすぎたのね。グラトニー、変なもの食べちゃダメでしょ。ええ、リオールはうまくいってるわ。始まるわよ。もうすぐにね。
Okay, Vizenburu. All right, so I'm not going to do the ending part. Okay, so that. Okay, so I started around the 30-minute mark. It's about 120, so that's okay, 50 minutes. So it's taken it's taken a while to get through it. Now I'm pretty sure this speeds up. Like after they're again repeating the same stuff. They're just trying to get into your head. Like, hey, this is what you call them. These are their names. It's obviously this is an anime trope. I get that. Because again, you just don't like introduce yourself when you go in to try to kill someone. You just go and kill them. That's just it, you know. This is going to be kind of difficult. What's going to make it easier is that I've already seen the show, so I kind of know where everything's going. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen it. So certain things, like I wasn't sure if or if there's going to be some changes from the first story I'd seen of it. Crumpled Chicken saying hello, just came from Discord. Hey guys. All right, so let me just take a quick break. Get fill up on coffee. Gonna finish up with the second episode and then call that a day. So yeah, be 2 episodes. Yeah. Yep. 内藤君。なるほど。電気屋です。大丈夫でしょ。表札ですね。でしょ。じゃあこれ後で筆つけとくからね。はい、お願いします。じゃあそういうことでまた家賃は？はい。じゃあ今月はちょっと待ってもらいたいかな。どうした？まだ1、2、3、4、5。じゃあ次は遅れないでね。はい、どうもまたね。はい。食費が8640円とすると2人で1日あたり288円。そんなに生活できるの？できますよ。できますよ。2人なら2人。じゃあお幸せに。じゃあ幸せ。リンゴでもお互いに愛があれば大丈夫だよ。なんとかしなきゃ。愛してるよリンゴ。もうくっつかないでよ。あんたの愛なんてありません。今日彼の故障に決まってるの。ほんとリンゴはテレ屋さんだね。それが愛だ。リンゴキスは
閉じドコモ資生堂大和ハウス小林製薬の提供でお送りします。室長、おいた。昨日はすっぽかしちゃってすいませんでした。ちょっとのっぴきならない事情がありまして。
のっぴきってな、俺との約束破るなんて10年早いんだよ。
いい子は会社でも可愛いね。
やめてよ、朝っぱらから。
ああ、そういうことな。
そういうことな。え？
よかったな。より戻って。
違うんですって、室長。あ、みんな。ナイトなんだけど。よかったね。私、最初からナイト君のことなんて全然興味ないよ。だけど、前好きになってもいいかって。嘘だよ。ラリーと仲直りさせたかっただけ。ミカ。
ミカさんどうかしたの？
あんたのせい。
あんたね。大変ですよ。どうしたの？今度の東京スイーツ店に伊沢の作ったシュークリーム出すらしいんですよ。
聞いてないの？
おはようございます。しかも室長直々の推薦なんですって。なんで伊沢が？
これは食べ物になるのかな？
何してんの？
ミカさん、使い古しのお茶っ葉食べます？
そっか。それで
使い古い。
やっぱり無理ですか？
やっぱり無理ですから。
ナイト君って地図に見えて結構遊ぶの好きなんだね。
地図に見えて結構。
これは真剣です。
真剣ですよ。
これは遊びじゃありません。
Alrighty. Cool. Okay. Get help. How many words do you think is recommended to start reading anime like Full Metal? There's not really. You can start it with 2,000. I tell you what. Keep it at 2,000 where that's the starting point. And although I don't recommend it being your first anime, if that's the thing you really want to do, then do it. It's just going to be more difficult. The more you know, the easier it gets. That's just, yeah, it's just simple math there. Probably with this, maybe 6,000. Like, I'm not at where I should be. I mean, but again, you're gonna make it. It's gonna be fun regardless. So you start kind of get used to like some of these words. It's like, oh yeah, these are popping up because they start popping up so often. You get used to it. Even if you don't. That doesn't mean you need to add these words to Anki. Like, these are not words you like need to really take a lot of effort to make sure you've memorized. Just that, hey, they're popping enough you kind of naturally memorize it just via the book or manga. I do recommend doing it via, like, you know, reading the subtitles with like I'm doing over here, you know, with the audio, just because you hear how it's being pronounced. Because if you're just going off kana, you're going to be mispronouncing it. You're going to do it. So this is better if you hear how it should be said in your ear. You kind of get, you see me repeating it just so I kind of get the flow of it. And then I'm going to be hearing it normally, and then I'm just going to hear it. And it's going to start sounding more and more natural as I hear it more and more often. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, but there's no minimum, but maybe wait till you're at, if you want to get into really like deep level anime like this, where it's using like fantastic or science fiction or military, maybe around the N2 stuff, like when you get past the 6,000 word mark. Alright, so let's get this started. Okay, so let's see, videos. Oop. Okay. So it looks like this is the okay, cool. By the way, I'll let you know. So since this is the first 26 episodes of the series, and it's a 60 or 65 episode season or series. So it's going to be the first 26. These come out to about a little over 8,100 lines of dialogue in the subtitles. So that is a lot. I'll put it this way. I added a book. I think it was Zero no Skyman. That came up to about 12,000 lines, and then I added Ryusei no Kizuna. That was the subtitles, or that was actually like 10 different chapters, and that came up to about 10,000 or so lines. So it's a lot of dialogue with just talking, because they really are saying out loud what normally is just would go unspoken, because they have to explain like what this world is about and what the hell they're doing, because this is not like natural or common knowledge stuff you just get from living in society. So there's that. All right, here we go. Episode 2. Let's hear that again.
錬金術は物質を理解分解再構築する科学なり。
Alright, okay. Bushitsu, so elements, substance. Bushitsu o rikai bunkai, study of elements. Kaiso, let's see if there's a full phrase. Rikai bunkai. Okay, understanding and analysis. Saikoseki, reconstruction. Rikai bunkai. Okay. Rikai bunkai saikoseki suru kagaku nari.
されど万能の技にはあらず。
万能。Skill, right? 万能技にはあらず。
無から有を生ずることあたわず。
無から有を。無から有を要ずること。あたわず。Can't produce something from nothing.
何かを得ようと欲すれば必ず同等の対価を支払うものなり。
You have to pay something of equivalent value. 代価 cost 必ず同等の代価を
これすなわち錬金術の基本。
すなわちこれすなわち錬金術の基本。
等価交換なり。
等価交換なり。等価交換。
錬金術師に禁忌あり。
禁忌あり。So the forbidden art.
は人体錬成なり。
Human transmutation. それは人体近世錬成近体錬成。
これ何人も犯すことなかれ。
何人も生かす。犯す。何人も犯すこと
この思いは。
Right, so if that's the intro is going to be the same, then that's going to make things easier, and let's go to 205. So I just got to make sure about the timings and whatnot, although the first episode is going to be kind of weird. I might be looking at that intro for a while over the next few bits, or let's see. Really? Alright, to the 2-minute mark.
兄さん。リオールの教師の噂どう思う？
教師。リオールの教師。That's a priest, right? The chief priest? No, founder. 教師の噂どう思う？
奇跡の技な。
この思いを消してしまうには。
何もない空間から花を連成するってんだろ。単なる手品かもしれないが。
手品。trick。OK。手品。単なる手品かもしれない
が。もしそうでなければ。
ああ。ひょっとするとひょっとするかもしれないな。
ひょっとする。possibly。ひょっとする。ひょっとする。とひょっとするかもしれない。
クセルクセスを一夜で滅ぼした天井の石。
クセルクセス。ゼクシス。クセルクセス。クセルクセスの一夜。一夜で滅ぼして天井の石。滅ぼした天井の石。
東の賢者によって封印された大エリクシル。
東の賢者によって封筒された大エリクシル。
呼び名はいろいろあるけど、つまりは
呼び名はいろいろあるけど、
錬金術を強化してくれるもの。
錬金術を強化してくれる。
それが賢者の石。
賢者の石。
これがあればアルの体を取り戻せるかもしれないのに。
アルの体取り戻せるかもしれない。
そう、もっと詳しく書いとけよ。ある。
何？
今度こそ当たりだといいな。
そうだね。
First day。
エド？ある？どこ？あらま。また父さんの書斎を散らかして。
あらま。また父さんの書斎。お父さんの書斎を散らかして。
あらダメよ、そんなところに落書きしちゃ。
落書きじゃないよ。見てて。
それ錬金術よね。父さんに習ったの？
いない人にどうやって習うのさ。
本読んだら書いてあったよ。
書いてあったって。
やっちゃいけないことだった。
そんなことないわ。すごい、さすが父さんの子ね。母さんみんなに自慢しちゃおう。
母さんが褒めてくれる。それが嬉しくて俺たちは錬金術にのめり込んだ。
のめり込んだ。Become involved in. Be completely absorbed in. 錬金術にのめり込んだ。
でもその年の夏、流行り病に見舞われて。
That's not a plague, but the yeah, I'm afraid this pandemic, epidemic. Okay, 流行り病を見舞われて。
母さんは言ってしまった。
言ってしまった。Let's look at that kanji real quick. Okay. Man, I haven't seen that kanji in a long time. It's not a difficult kanji because it's just folding. on the road. So imagine like you fold a flag onto a person's coffin and send them down the road for their burial. I mean, so it's not difficult to memorize, but yeah. Anyway, ite shimatta. So it means just to go, but in reference to dying.
兄ちゃん、
兄ちゃん、
お腹すいた。寒いし帰ろうよ。お父さんが帰ってくれば。
あいつのことは言うな。あんなやつ父さんじゃない。お母さんのお葬式にも帰ってこなかったんだぞ。お母さんを元に戻せないかな。
でも人間を作るのはやっちゃいけないことだって本に書いてあったよ。
人間を作るのはやってしまいやっちゃいけないことだって書いてある。
だから二人だけの秘密な。
またここに来てる。
なんだよウィンリー。
ばっちゃんが言ってたよ。死んだ人のことを思って泣くとその涙の分だけあの世で死んだ人も悲しむって。
相手なんかねえよ。お前こそお父さんとお母さんしょっちゅう出かけてるから寂しくて泣いてるくせに。
泣いてなんかないわよ。
本当かな。
あんたなんか心配して損した。私より遅かったら飯抜きだからね。
損して損した。See if that's a phrase itself. No, okay.
なんだそりゃ。待てよ。
待てよ。いただきまーす。
ほら江戸も牛乳飲んじまいな。牛乳嫌い。飲まないとチビのまんまだよ。あれがチビじゃ。
ママだな。
スンタラスババ。
誰がチビじゃ。そう。スンダラズ。スンダラズ。Okay. スンタラズババ。
だってこの豆粒チビ。
豆ち首。ママチチビ。豆粒。豆粒チビ。
ミニマムババ。
ミニマムババ。
マイクロチビ。アリンコサイズ。ミジンコサイズ。
アリンコ What the hell is an ant? アリンコ。アリンコサイズ。Okay. Sorry. Come on. Hey, get out of here. Okay. ミジンコ。What the hell is ミジンコ。米。Flour? ミジンコ。Rice granules. Okay. ミジンコサイズ。
また学校で関係ない本読んで授業ちゃんと聞かなきゃ。
うるせえな。
ねえ、何の本読んでるの？秘密。
ウィンリーには関係ねえよ。
ずるい。いつも二人で秘密にして。じゃあね。エド、ある？今日の晩ご飯シチューだってさ。やったー。
ああ、また後でな。それにしてもシチューを発明した人は偉大だ。牛乳が入ってるのにあんなにうまい。なんだよそれ。野菜スープに牛乳を突っ込むっつう考えがすげえよ。科学者にもそういう発想の転換が必要だな。
So そういう発想。そう転換が必要だな。
そんなもんかな。そうさ、人体錬成もきっと。
人体錬成。
そういう発想が必要なんだよ。
Make sure about that. Thinking idea. Okay, 発想。
それから俺たちは母さんを蘇らせるために
Resurrection? 蘇る。死んだ人。蘇る。Make sure. Yeah, resurrection. 蘇らせるために。
人体錬成について調べ、錬金術の先生のもとで
錬金術の師匠。錬金術の師匠のもとで腕を描いた。巻いた。I think that's a phrase. 腕を磨いた。
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 何年も何年もかかったけど、母さんの笑顔を見たい。母さんとまた楽しく暮らしたい。その思いで俺たちは
できた。水35リットル、炭素20キログラム。
That's carbon, right? 炭素 carbon. 炭素20キログラム。
アンモニア4リットル、
アンモニア4リットル。
石灰1.5キログラム。
カルシウム、石灰、カルシウム、ライム、カルシック。ライム、OK。石灰、
リン800グラム。
リン、フォスフォラス。リン。
塩分250グラム。
That's salt? Really? Sodium? No, 塩分 sodium. Salty. Okay. 塩分。
硝石100グラム。
硝石。That's the other part of phosphorus, and that's not phosphorus. Not saltpeter. Okay. Nitrous. 硝石。
硫黄80グラム。
Sulfur, right? Yeah, sulfur. EO, phosphorus, sulfur.
フッ素 7.5 グラム。
フッ素。Chlorine. フッ素。
鉄5グラム。ケイ素3グラム。
ケイ素。シリコン。OK。ケイ素。
よし、構築式を書くぞ。あとは魂の情報だ。
Let's make sure that's construction, right? 構築式を。そう。あとは試しの情報。情報。
行くぞ、ある。兄さん、なんか変だよ。まさかティゴンド
してたんだっけ。
よ
誰？
おお、よくぞ聞いてくれました。俺はお前たちが世界と呼ぶ存在。
お前たちが世界と存在。
あるいは宇宙。
あるいは宇宙。
あるいは神。あるいは真理。あるいは善。
God. Reality? Shinbi. That's reality, right? Eternal. Okay. Eternal truth. Space. God. Truth. Everything.
あるいは一。そして俺はお前だ。ようこそ身の程知らずのバカ野郎。
身の程。身の程。身の程知らず。You don't know yourself. 自分の位置、能力などわかりません。One who doesn't know yourself. 身の程知らず。バカ野郎。
うるさいな。お前が欲しがってたものだろ。
お前が欲しがってたものだろ。
見せてやるよ、真理を。
ものすごい量の情報を直接頭にぶち込まれたみたいだった。
直接頭にぶち込まれます。ぶち込まれますみたいだった。やめろ。分解 pieces being ripped to piece 分解される。
頭が割れそうだった。だけど唐突に理解した。
唐突にだけど唐突に理解した。
これが真理。
どうだった？
そうだ。俺の人体連生理論は
人体連生理論 theory
間違っちゃいなかった。でも足りないんだ。
Should have added more water. There you go. Just didn't add enough water. You gotta cook enough for everyone to eat. There you go.
もう少し先に俺の求めているものが。人体連生の真理があった。お願いだ。もう一度見せてくれ。
ダメだね。これだけの通行量だとここまでしか見せられない。
通行量。これだけの通行量だとここまでしか見せられない。
通行量。
そう、通行量。10日交換だろ。
10日交換だろ。
錬金術師。
錬金術師。
こんなはずじゃ。ちくしょう。持っていかれた。助けて。俺が母さん。
足だろうが腕だろうが心臓だろうがくれてやる。だから返せよ。たった一人の弟なんだよ。
Fullmetal Alchemist.
よう、まだセントラルにいたのか。
Okay, so I like that part. Now, it's interesting. Like the first episode, they're throwing a lot of stuff at you. Like they're saying like names, positions, trying to throw the like what the city's all about, what this, you know, who the Fuhrer is, what the army is doing, and all that stuff. What our alchemists and whatnot, throwing everything at you. That's going like super fast. This slowed it all down a bit, and just going into a little bit more about alchemy, about studying. Okay, cool. You got a father who's been gone. Didn't even show up for the mother's funeral. Mother passed away through some type of epidemic. Kind of considering today's timeline, yeah, that's kind of interesting. The and again, you kind of see it's like that. That's a lot more easier to follow. Like again, I didn't have to pause as much and go through a lot quicker. But yeah, so it's like I forgot even how long when I started this. When I started the second episode up, but yeah, I get the feeling the series is not going to be that difficult to follow. It's going to be using some vocabulary, obviously it's at higher level, but because I already know the story, that part's going to be easy. And so when I see the words, I'm going to be able to make connections just because I remember the story ahead of time. So because also I know what the word is, I can tell what the kanjis are. You can kind of get, maybe a few times like Axiomizer helped out with, then what is it? Transmutation. It didn't say for transmutation. Beyond that, yeah. So I'm just going to probably lean upon how what the English translation of the series happened to be at the time. There could be again it could be translated or interpreted in different ways. So you're not like forced to just go with the way one particular group of people happen to translate it. You can create your own. I mean, in fact, if you want to do it for fun, that's how some people do it. Is actually, like they say, what I got to do to be a translator? Well, first, to start translating shit. And the easiest way to translate is translate stuff that's already been translated. So you can compare yourself. Like, here, translate something, look at how somebody else translated it, and say, okay, yeah, that was pretty close. And then keep going like that. And you get to kind of develop a feel for it. You're going to create your own voice on how you translate, because, you got your own type of vocabulary, your own knowledge of words and experiences. So you're trying to make it say, how would you express this concept in English? And that's where a good translator does that. They're not doing direct translations. It's a bit more interpretation, where you get the feel of the story, but also tell it in a way that's interesting and is enjoyable in English. So you really don't want to be doing a lot of direct translations. Like we don't always say brother and sister, older sister. How we don't say that. You just give their first name. Now it may sound weird if you're saying like Alphonse when he's saying Eric or Alphonse, Al. It may sound weird if you're saying that in English. That's the subtitles when obviously he's saying Nissan or something. But hey, that's just, people are using the English subtitles, there's nothing wrong with that. Although you do have, this is where you get some of the complaints like, oh, but you gotta respect the spirit of the way the Japanese work, you gotta get across what the mood of what these particular texts were trying to get across. It's like, yeah, you could, but especially with stuff like here, it feels like they're leaning kind of heavily on, let's say, German. So you should probably say, if you're going to do it anything, you should give it a German flavor. Similar to, if you saw Attack on Titan, yeah, Attack on Titan will also very similar. You want to probably give it a good German feel to it. Well, this may be closer to Russian. I think this one would be better off giving a Russian feel. If you wanted to do it like interpreting, give it a mood. But again, it's up to the people who translate. And a lot of people who are translating are probably not historical. They're probably not scholars of history. So they're just. That's why a lot of translations are just direct translations, and because of that, they offered their own goofy take on how to translate, which means then that become the way people expect translations to work. Like they expect you to put San after everybody's name, even though in English you never say like David San or Alphonse San, or you put the rank. Again, it's always Lieutenant Welsh. It's not Welsh Lieutenant. So You know, you might at most say Mr. David, but you don't usually say Mr. David. You also say Mr. and last name. So if you're going to do that, you want to show respect, then you do as what it would be similar in English. You know, and that would be a cool way of doing, presenting the translation. Anyway, just something to think about if you ever want to do practice for translate. I'm not a professional translator. I haven't even tried it. So those are just my thoughts on the matter, and coming from someone who's never really done it. So you know, take that with a pound of salt. 888. Wish I had a sister. Oh, did you lose her to a transmutation circle? Okay. Here we go. Let's go on. What are we at? 1207. Cool. Meretaku. Let's see.
めでたく東方司令部に帰れることになった。
またセントラルに行ったのかな。めでたく東方司令部 It should be 司令部 Eastern Control, Eastern Command, 東方司令部 Eastern Headquarters, right? 東方 is Eastern, right? Yeah. めでたく東方司令部に帰ることになった。
そりゃあご苦労さん。
そりゃご苦労さん。
次に来るときは準将ぐらいになっとけよ。
自称ぐらい。Not like a brigadier general? 準将。Yeah, brigadier general. 準将。Commodore. 準将ぐらいになっとけ。よ大佐。Captain. Or, well, colonel.
大佐。
簡単に言う。
ああ、そうだ。帰るなら先に渡しとこ
う。なんだ？
アイザック・マクドゥーガルに関する最終報告書だ。まだお前さんのとこには届いてないだろう。
またお前さんのとこには届いてないんだろう。
ああ。秦国の練炭術。
秦国 New country? 練炭術秦国の練炭術
そういうものがあるらしい。正直俺にはさっぱりだが。
So here we have あるらしい。そういうものがあるらしい。
知ってるか？
正直俺にはさっ
ぱり。いや、初耳だ。
初耳だ。I would call it a show Mimi, but 初耳だ。
ところで、エルリック兄弟はどうしてる？
俺はあいつらの保護者じゃない。
保護者じゃない。
なあ、なんだってエドを国家錬金術師にしたんだ。
国錬金術師にしたんだ。
まだ子供なんだぜ。軍にいる以上、いつか地獄を見る羽目になる。
見る羽目になる。いつか地獄を見る羽目になる。
俺たちみたいにな。
地獄か。地獄なら見たさ。二人とももう十分にな。
4年前。
中佐、裏にもいます。これは
どこだ？エリリック兄弟とやらはどこにいる？
うるさいよデン。お客さんにはちょっとあんた、軍人がいきなりなんだい。
君たちの家に行ったぞ。なんだあのありさまは。
ありさま、物事、状態、ありさま。なんだあのありさま。
何を救った？
何を救った？
ごめんなさい。許してください。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
君は驚きました。優れた錬金術師がいると聞いて訪ねてきたのですが、まさかこんな子供が不完全とはいえ人体錬成を行い、魂の定着まで成し遂げるとは。
魂の定着まで成し遂げる。成し遂げるとは、
国家錬金術師になる資質が十分あります。
国家錬金術師になる。substance abilities 資質が十分あります。
国家錬金術師になると、
国家錬金I'm having a hard time saying jutsushi. Jutsu, shinjutsu, teijutsu, jutsushi, jutsushi.
有事の際は兵士として働くことになりますが、
有事の際、平常変わった有事。This event, the situation, emergency, 有事の際は兵士として働くことになります。
同時にさまざまな特権や最高レベルの研究が可能となるのです。
さまざまな特権、スペシャルアソリティ、特権、特別な権利、プリビレッジ、さまざまな特権や最高レベルの研究が可能となるのです。
この子たちが元の体に戻る方法も、あるいは
この子が血まみれで転がり込んできた後にね。
この子が血まみれ、Oh man covered in blood、 血まみれで血まみれで転がり込む、lying returned、 転がり込んできた後に、
私はこの子たちの家に行ったのさ。あれは人間なんかじゃなかった。あんな恐ろしいものを作るのが錬金術なのかい？私は反対だね。また地獄を見ろってのかい、この子たちに。
どうぞ。
ありがとう。
少尉、
少尉さん。
リザでいいわ。リザ・ホークアイ。
Oh, Lisa Hawkeye. Okay, Lisa Hawkeye. Hawkeye.
よろしくね。
リザさん。
リザさんは人を撃ったことがあるの？
あるわ。
軍人さんは嫌い。
軍人さんは。
父さんも母さんも戦場に連れて行かれて殺されたから。
連れて行かれて殺されたから。
その上エドとアルも連れて行こうとしてる。
はい、エドとアルも連れて行こうとしてる。
行くかどうかはあの子たちが自分で決めることよ。そう、自分で決めること。
強制はしない。ただ
Can't control。強制はしない。
私は可能性を提示する。
chance. Teishi. I can only offer the chance. Watashi wa only. Watashi wa kanose. The opportunity. I can only offer the opportunity. Teishi suru.
進むのかとどまるのか。
進むのか、とどまるのか。
絶望のまま一生を終えるか。
That's your desire, right? 絶望のまま一生を終えるか。
可能性を求めて軍に神戸を垂れるか。
うん。神戸を垂れる。神戸を垂れるか。神戸を軍に神戸を垂れるか。
それを決めるのはあの子たち自身。
そこに可能性があるならば元の体に戻るために前に進むべきだろう。たとえそれが泥の川だったとしても。
River of Mud だったとしても。
リザさんはなぜ軍人になったの？
守るべき人がいるから。
帰るぞ。
はい。じゃあさよならね、お嬢さん。
ウィンリーです。
そう、ウィンリーちゃん。また会えるといいわね。来るでしょうか。
来るさ。
あの少年、無気力な目をしてましたけど。
無気力な。どうしようね。無気力な目を。Sorry. I said 知ってましてけど、
そうかね。あれは火のついた目だ。
後悔しないかい？
もう決めたことだから。手術とリハビリでどれぐらいかかる？
だいたい3年ってとこだね。
1年だ。
血ヘドを吐くことになるよ。
血ヘド。血ヘドを吐くことになるわ。
ある。もう少し我慢してくれな。俺が元の体に戻してやる。
その時は兄さんの体も一緒だよ。もう体は完璧だね。
おう、あとは錬金術だ。あれ以来使ってないからな。
そっか、僕の魂を錬成した時以来なんだ。
僕の魂錬成した時。
兄さん。
おお、バッチリバッチリ。
すごいよ兄さん、錬成人もなしに。
So that's a circle, huh? See, I was always Gene as in a group or a troop. I guess it makes sense that it's a circle as well. Say Gene more, なしに。
先生と同じことができるようになったんだね。
師匠、right? 師匠と同じことができるように。
あるもできるだろ。
できないよ兄さん。
あれを見なかったのか。
あれって
いや、なんでもない。
私のホットメール、あと機械鎧。Let's see.
Let's give that a Kikai. What would the one you need for that be? Kikai Gai. Kikai Gai? Kikai Gai. Automeru. Kikai Gai Hin? Kai. Hinke. Hinke. Kikai Gai. Kikai Gai. Automeru. Kikai Gai. Kikai Gai.
絵の頭は変形してもいいのかよ。
変形してよ。
つーったく可愛げのねえ機械オートだぜ。
機械オート。あ、OK。機械オート。オートメール。結構。
可愛げなくて結構。機械オート結構。私、あんたが元の体に戻るまでサポートするって決めたんだから。は
あ。
試験を見学されるとはお珍しい。
兄、12歳の子供が来たというのでな、話の種に見ておこうと思ったのだよ。おお、鋼の義手か。
鋼の義手。Sacrifice the arm. Gishu. Artificial arm. Okay. Gishu. 鋼の義手か。
頭部の内乱で。
頭部。内乱。あ。Okay. 内乱です。
おお、イシュバールには手を焼いたな。イ
シュバールに手を。
誰？
バカ、キングブラッドレイ大総統閣下だ。
大総統閣下。大総統閣下だ。
そう、試験を始めたまえ。
錬成陣を書く道具は持っているか？
いらないよ、そんなもん。
錬成陣もなしに。
これはなかなか。
っていう風に要人暗殺があるかもしれないからさ。
っていう風に要人暗殺があるって you need an assassin, right? Important. 要人暗殺があるかもしれないからさ。
この試験方法を見直した方がいいんじゃない？
この試験方法を見直した方がいいんじゃない？
なかなか肝は据わっておる。
肝が据わる。なかなか肝が
だが世界の広さを知らん。
All right, I like this part.
Huh?
There it goes. Yeah, I remember that from the first time I saw it. That again, King Bradley's not a guy you fuck with. Spoiler alert.
残りの試験も頑張りたまえ。
残りの試験。
若すぎる錬金術師よ。
若すぎる錬金。
いつ抜いたんだよ。
兄さん、試験大丈夫かな？
ねえ、ある？
何？
エドが国家錬金術師になったらこの村出て行っちゃうの？
これが国家資格の証。
Symbol of your qualifications. 国家資格 National Certification 国家資格証国家資格の証
銀時計、
銀時計
背面書と細かい記憶はこれ。
背面書と細かい規則
と大総統も随分とまた皮肉な目を。
何？
いや、おめでとう。これで君も晴れて軍の犬だ。
これで君も晴れて軍の犬だ。
大総統キングブラッドレーの名において汝エドワード・エルリックを国家錬金
術師に任命し、
うぬうぬエドワード・エリック国家錬金術師任命し
名鋼を授ける。
鋼を授ける。
鋼？
そう、国家錬金術師に与えられる2つな。
国会で術師に
君が背負うその名は鋼の錬金術師。
いいね、その重苦しい感じ。
重苦しい。
背負ってやろうじゃねえの。
兄さん、そろそろ着くよ。
リオールか。あの町にアルの体を元に戻す手がかりが。賢者の石。
あの日見た。
Okay, 2358.
リオールの町を訪れたエドとアルは死者の復活を標榜する男
リアル町を訪れてエドワードは死者の復活を標榜する男コネロと
出会う。祈り信じよ。
祈り。Oh,
されば救われん。
祈り信じよう。されば助かわれん。
そう唱えるコーネロの指に
そう唱えるコーネロの
赤く光る賢者の石があった。次回鋼の錬金術師フルメタルアルケミスト第3話邪教の町。
3話邪教の町。邪教の町。
真実から目を背けることで
真実から、truth 真実
目を turn your back on truth 真実から目を背ける目を背けること
得られる幸せとは
得られる幸せではCool. All right, and let's see, 227. So again, I don't know how fast it's supposed to be going, but it's going to take me about 50 minutes to go through each of these episodes. So yeah, two a day. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be quite a bit of reading, and some of the reading is in Japanese because I look at sometimes I'll look at the Japanese definitions, and you can just get it from there, or just from my kind of rough guessing or whatnot. Other times I flip down to the English, and yeah, so it happens. Yeah, so as I keep saying this and it gets used to it, I'm not going to have to keep looking up. Like, I'm not always going to be looking up like Alchemist. I might have to do it again tomorrow for a little bit, but yeah, it should all kind of start making sense. And they're going to slowly start introducing words. They're going to be introducing stuff a lot slower. Like they're going to get to town. They're going to have the expedition dump as to what this town, like what's the rumor of this town, and then of course they're going to go around and figure out, oh, it's the actual mystery, solve the mystery. I don't know if it's how fast they'll go through it, but it depends on how much they're willing to cover, how much ground they cover per episode is, how much exposition is being thrown at you. The more exposition, the harder it is to follow, because that's just, again, it turns it into a really dense novel. But that's fine. All right, cool. So, but yeah, this is fun. I think I can enjoy this. Evangelion it's just as tough as Evangelion. I will give it that. What made it easier for me is that I've already seen this show, so I know where the storyline's going. But it is kind of interesting seeing it from the pure Japanese side of things. Yeah, and yeah, again, it's just a fun story, even though I know, like, it's a dark story. It goes into really, I mean, when you think about it, just what's kind of hinted at, they weren't showing it, but just hinting at, like, what's happening to all the people, since the red shirts, the people that are coming. But then you get to see what happened to Elric and Alphonse and their mother. You realize, like, how dark that was about, again, like, when he lost his leg, and then he had to lose his leg as a sacrifice, or as a payment, sorry, I told. His brother lost his entire body, so his brother's now bound up in the armor. They don't kind of explain, like, how that works. I mean, there's a lot of hand waving on, again, how this it sort of explains at the end. I get that, but there's a bit more to it than just equivalent exchange. I mean, there's obviously a lot that goes into. I mean, the amount of power it takes. There's a lot of power in just connecting atoms together. For example, and it goes way beyond just the. When it's got to be done in just a certain way, so it happens in the right way. So it's a lot more than just. And you need to make sure you're doing it in the right way. Anyway, sorry. It's not going to, obviously, you're not going to be getting a lot of science, a lot of education out of this show, but you are going to hearing a lot of scientific terms, just because it's dealing with the. Even though alchemy is not science, it's sort of pseudoscience or meta science and whatnot, but in that it's going to have some scientific terms, so that's going to make it kind of more fun. And again, a lot of the military terminology is going to be there. So there was the military terminology we picked up from Evangelion, so that's going to be carrying over, and that'll also carry over into, like, the scientific stuff is going to carry over into the Steins Gate, but the military stuff is definitely going to carry over into the Attack on Titan. And then beyond that, after that, it's just the urban stuff, and just very little that's going to carry over into One Punch. One Punch Man's just going to be a goofy anime, but I like it. I like how the author of the story, he presents stuff. So it's a very entertaining way of presenting. Like, basically, it's not a parody. It's like it's not a satire. Is it more of a satire or a parody? I think satire is I forget what was a better word for it. Maybe it's more of a parody. Would be better way of looking at it. It's not tearing it down, but it's kind of respecting it while presenting it in a new way. Yeah, so I don't think parody is meant to, or a satire is meant to destroy. As parody is meant to kind of poke fun at, and then, but still try to present something is enjoyable as well, like in honor of it, not in. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm thinking about the wrong thing. Yeah, so
anyway, this is the first one. There's should be about 13 of these. So as I'm doing this, so it'll be about 13 of these. This is the first of 13, if all goes well, and continue this going down this path. I'm going to be doing my normal studies, so trying to keep pushing that towards. I got an idea of where I want to take the studying of it that I'm doing, and so hopefully I'll be reaching that. As I'm finishing some of these products, also I'll make sure that they're available for sharing. So right now that means the Tango books obviously is for sharing. As I'm about to be finished with the N4 Shinkan Zen Master N4, so I'll make that available for sharing, and I'll also do that with the N3 book after I finish, get that close to finish. Now it's not going to be perfect, unfortunately, because the guy wanted to type up some of the other extra information. The N3 book is apparently not going to be typing it up, so I can't unfortunately depend on him. But if it does get done, I will share it. If not, I'll share like an uncompleted version where it's just you just got the example sentences with some rough explanations, but it will be not as to the full detail as the N4 book would have been. And again, with sharing those, is like, hey, as long as you own the book, I'll give you the links to the deck. Same thing's going to be with the RTK stuff, RTK optimized. As long as you own the book, RTK, remembering the kanji, definitely I'll give you the links to the book. You don't, it has nothing about being part of the Patreon for any of these decks. As long as you own the stuff, you can show that you own it. Photo of photo your book with your username on a piece of paper. So it's like your photo. It's not, you don't need a photo of your face or anything. Just showing like, hey, yeah, okay, this photo belongs. You took that photo with something that you have. Then I've seen no problem with you getting access to the decks because you've obviously got access to the books. Makes sense to me anyway. And if you get into the decks and whatnot, just be aware these are not a cure-all. These are not cure-alls for learning Japanese. This is a part of the process. So if that's the structured part of learning Japanese, for the vocabulary, the kanji, and the grammar. On the other side of the things is the immersion. The immersion is like what I'm doing here with these Let's Reads, and that sentence mining. I think you don't have to do the sentence mining, but I think you'll find it is a lot of fun. I mean, when you get into sentence mining, you just kind of want to do it because it's stuff that you've read and enjoyed. Right. You don't have to do sentence mining using Morphman, although I do recommend it, but you're not limited to it. I mean, but some people just read through it and see something they like, and like they'll see a sentence there, and okay, I'm keeping that sentence, and they add it to Anki, and boom, done. They just look up add the information on the one word they don't know in that sentence, because that's the best sentence. Is a sentence that only has one thing you don't know about it, and it could be all the words in the sentence you know, but it was a phrase. So the phrase is the one thing. Which is, again, is a legit thing to add, and that's a weakness about Morphman, is that if there's like phrases, it's not going to add it because most likely it's a phrase of words that you already know, but used in a way to where it's getting across because it's a set phrase, and it's passing along information that's loaded. Again, it's a loaded phrase, so it has extra information that it's transmitting because again you know the background of the reason behind the phrase. Kind of like water off a duck's back. You might know water, you might know duck's back, but you hear water off the duck's back, hey, it's no big deal. That's a water under the bridge. That's a set phrase. If you can know water, bridge, and under, but if you don't get that phrase is saying, hey, it's not talking about literally about talking about water going under a bridge. It's saying, hey, look, that's already happened. Don't sweat it, type thing. These are don't be a thorn in my side. These are phrases. So in English, and similar things are in Japanese, and those are useful to know. So that's where sentence mining directly may be better. Be willing to do that if you want to. I'm not going to bother with it, but it's something that you need to be aware of. That the one weakness Morphman has is that you're not getting phrases from it. If the phrase itself isn't a dictionary entry that Morphman recognizes. Yeah. I think it was kind of interesting that some of these phrases, like equivalent exchange, is in the dictionary. I think what's happening is that some of these dictionaries are made by people who are learning Japanese. So they offer their own definitions or interpretations of phrases. So that's where you can get some, can hover over a word or a phrase and see what it means. But it's not going to be a dictionary entry. In that, they'll be from I forgot the e-dictionary, edict? I forget the word for it. Cool. I'll just leave it at there. So thank you all very much. This was fun. Yeah, this was fun, and definitely look forward to doing this tomorrow. I will say it's either this weekend or next weekend. Maybe I'll be doing a podcast with either with Yoga MIA and maybe Matt vs. Japan. I don't know if it's going to be both of them at the same time, but it just might be just with Yoga. Anyway, we're kind of planning on just doing a podcast, but it's going to be from his side of things. So he's the one running the podcast, not myself. So he'll decide on the day and the time in which it's done for the live portion of it. And then I'm assuming the video can be shared by both of us. You know, it only makes sense. Beyond that, yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you all very much. I'll be back tomorrow with hopefully episodes 3 and 4. And yeah, just keep on keeping on. After this, by the way, after this anime, I will be starting up Harry Potter book 3. So the Prisoner of Azkaban. And yeah, and that'll be splitting up into 3 parts. So these 4 anime and 3 chapters of the books. After that, I'm back to the regular Japanese resources, which is dramas and drama transcripts or subtitles and actual Japanese novels. You know, that are not translated, not English novels that were translated into Japanese, like Harry Potter is. Cool. All right, later, guys. Oh, let me just say thanks for watching. And by the way, thank you all for your comments today. It was fun.